Welcome to Why Such a Fuss, an exciting new channel dedicated to help individuals and businesses to learn more about data protection in a way that is easy and engaging. I'm Christina from CVG Solutions, and I am a fully qualified data protection professional. I am passionate about educating, empowering, and enabling businesses to thrive. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel and help us to spread the word. Data protection is there for a reason. It protects you, your family, loved ones, customers, employees from coming to harm through the use of personal data. So make sure you click subscribe. Now, get ready to embark on a journey of growth and knowledge as we dive into the world of data protection. Stef Elliott, digital engineer, GDPR and e-privacy professional, join us once again for the last episode on the Cookies and Pixels series. Hello, Stef, and welcome again.
Hi again.
Now, in our previous episodes, we covered the benefits for a business in the use of cookies and pixels, which was really interesting and revealing. As this is our last episode, I wanted to flip the coin and really explore the impact the cookies and pixel could have on a web visitor, so an individual. In other words, what could go wrong?
Okay, that's a quite a wide-ranging topic. So what I'll try and do is bring this down to a couple of real-life examples. Going back to the previous episodes, if you looked at that, we talked about the cookie is the how you facilitate something, and the why is the purpose that you are looking to achieve through the use of technology that might introduce a cookie onto your website. One of the issues that you have with cookies is that cookies effectively provide the facility to distinguish an individual. Distinguishing the individual means that you can maintain state of an interaction over a web transaction. And also they facilitate the capability to distinguish an individual, which might be utilized for other means such as marketing or tracking or analytics. What has happened is that when we talked previously about build, buy or borrow, a lot of websites will integrate a piece of third-party technology onto their website. And the technology evolves as things move forward. Christina, I'm old enough to remember the early years of the web, where most web pages had a web counter on them that said this web page has been visited 1,022 times, and you'd go on and you'd see that. That was provided to provide a degree of credibility to a website more than anything else. But it also enabled web users to start developing technology to analyze the usage of their website. And what has happened is that the analytical and marketing businesses have evolved their functionality based upon extending that functionality beyond a mere counting of pages. We've now moved to a scenario where you have what's called event-based tracking. And event-based tracking or event-based categorization means that you're utilizing cookies and JavaScript through third-party technologies to record the events that happen onto a website. Google Analytics Universal was predominantly based upon page loads. You had to do a little bit of extra work to actually record the events. But now you're moving to technology which you put onto your website and it automatically records things such as the pages that you load, the screen depth that you go down there. It's to record engagement. It records things such as the links that you potentially click upon. It records information such as the PDFs that you download. It records the videos that you watch. It records the fact that you are clicking an outbound link going to a third-party site. And that's fine because you're collecting information. but it's the scope of the data points that you're collecting the information on. So when you're collecting information, if you don't think through this process, you potentially can collect information that if you're unaware of, you'd be shocked that you're collecting. And if I give you an example of this, this partly comes down to your website. There is a website which is made available for sexual health. If you are concerned regarding your sexual health, you can go onto a website and you can click in there to put in your details to get screening tests. And this is quite a sensitive subject. The problem is that this website has used technology that records things such as the fact that you are visiting there, and it links that through analytics cookies to your a third-party provider who are able to identify that individual if you are a user of their site, and then utilize that information for their own purpose. It's all in the terms and conditions that the website owner has agreed to when they've set up the system. The other thing is that what's happened in the system is that the way the system has been set up is that if you go into it and you put in your postcode and your sexual preference and also your age, the search result page goes to a URL which has included that data within it. That data is being recorded by the third-party tracking component. So you've got that element where you've got what is highly sensitive personal data being collated. I don't think this is being done for a nefarious purpose. I think this is being done for the fact that you've got an unawareness of that.
Yes. So that could then, for example, lead to, if this information goes to a third party, that could lead to, I don't know, say the visitor was a man, then, they will start receiving marketing promotion on Viagra or something along those lines. Would that?
You've effectively lost data, and this comes down to the data minimization principle. If you're doing a DPIA here and you're saying, well, actually, we're setting up this website, we wish to protect individuals here, this data shouldn't go across there. If I give you another example, I've recently had an article published in Computer Weekly, which is looking at charity websites. Charity websites, we're in a situation where times are tough, money is difficult for a lot of people. Charities are competing for a diminishing pot of money to support this. That's a sort of marketing aspect, that's a fundraising aspect. But on the other hand, they also have service users. And the service users might be looking at them for things such as bowel cancer, something like that. You're looking, these are really sensitive subjects. You are looking for support. If you're unaware of if you put your technology on a blanket across your site, you're capturing the data for the purpose of the commercial aspects, which you might say, well, actually, it's good to know that this person's looking, therefore I can utilize that to market more effectively to them. You're capturing this information as well for service users. It's highly sensitive. If you're then linking that to third-party advertising sites who are then able to utilize that data, how they utilize it is down to them. But would it put you off going to the site if you knew that was going to happen?
Yes. I need to read the article because I work with a lot of charity stuff. So brilliant.
Well, it's funny, Christina, this was something that I noticed on the police report a sexual offence crime page. And working with data protection professionals, people like Rowena Fielding, she was fantastic. We tried to raise this. That tracking technology is still on the police websites today. We're trying to get that removed. But this is something that just needs to, that raising of awareness. I don't think people are doing this nefariously. I just don't think they have considered the risks. And most charity people that I know would be shocked they're doing this.
Yes. is done through naivety, really naivete, rather than maliciousness. But ignorance, as they say, is not an excuse in the eye of the law, I suppose.
Well, I have this phrase that Sisyphus is the patron saint of data protection professionals. Sisyphus was the man pushing the rock continually up the hill and never stopped. I think there are three stages of compliance, or GDPR compliance, or adhering to the law or the spirit of the law. The first stage is that people are in a situation where they're ignorant. They're ignorant of this situation. The next stage is when you're conscious of the situation, you do nothing about it. Now, we've all got 20, 30 things on our to-do list, and maybe this doesn't become important. If you're aware and you do nothing about it, I think you get to the point where you move from being negligent to being complicit the longer you leave without it. And then the final piece is that you're in the situation where you're trying to be as compliant as you can be. But as we talked about, state of the art, technology changes. You constantly need to be aware of this and be setting your... I would say to anybody with a website, I would set myself a annual review of the technology that's sitting under the website. You might then say, well, actually, it's beneficial commercially because you should be looking at your website and what you're trying to get from it and what it's achieving.
Yes. Can you give us a real example of when data that has been collected through those Google Analytics or analytics in general, cookie analytics, where the data that has been analyzed or utilized and shared with third parties, where something has actually gone wrong?
I can give you an example. I did a presentation for the World Federation of Advertisers on this last November, which is about tag governance and tag management. I mentioned one or two technology providers. I think that there are multiple technology providers who do this. So to run that session, I've invented a company called Eldorado. Eldorado is my made up technology/social media platform that provides this information. What that does is it takes you through this. And if you go onto my Six Serving Men LinkedIn page, the video is there that takes you through that process. Specifically for the question that you ask, I've got anecdotal evidence of people visiting websites for certain health and medical conditions, then seeing an increase of the adverts that they receive for some of the side effects of those conditions. Now, there are some conditions where the long-term impact of a medical condition might be things such as incontinence. Now, if you're dealing with a diagnosis, the last thing you want is for your social media sites to then have degrees of information that remind you of a situation that might not arise for 20 years. But also, Christina, what you're getting into, I think we've managed in all of these sessions not to mention the AI word.
Oh, I know. I thought we were doing so well.
But what you're doing is you're collating data that you've got no real purpose to utilize. Data minimization, if you went on to I think I used the example of cancer, and I'm not specifically naming a cancer charity here, but if you went onto that scenario, if that data is being collated, there is no purpose for that data to be collated. There's not a lawful purpose that I can see, or if there is, it's not meeting the transparency requirements under Article 9 of the GDPR. So that data is, I would say, rogue data. What that rogue data does, you've lost control of. You've got no concept of what it's going to do, how it impacts you. You've got no control. Yes. Data that is not collected can do no damage.
That's right. Yes. Steph, thank you ever so much once again for joining us and for sharing with us in all of your wisdoms. It's been an absolute pleasure. Now, before you go, would you like to remind our audience how they can get in touch with you, should they wish to do so?
Yeah, there's a couple of ways. I'm on LinkedIn, both as an individual and Six Serving Men run a company page. I tend to put a lot of the videos and training sessions I have up on my Six Serving Men company page. The other alternative is my website, 6sm.co.uk, and I'm open to discussions. I'm keen that as data professionals, we expand these areas to solve the solution, solve the problem. I think the solution is talking about it more, awareness of data protection, people, web developers, business owners, and the technology providers, supported by the regulators.
Yes, and my mission is to provide that awareness to the individuals. That is my passion, and to make them aware of when they're giving their data away, what they're actually giving away. So this is the whole point of the podcast.
Thank you for the opportunity to raise this, and thank you for the work that you do in your podcast as well. I think it's important that people keep up to date with developments, and
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you very much. So if you have liked this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Click on subscribe so you won't miss any future episodes. We're also on Apple and Spotify as a pure podcast. So check us out. It's Why Such a Fuss. And if you would like to get in touch with me, I am on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search for CVG Solutions. Alternatively, email me at info@cvgsolutions.co.uk.